I am Demunshay Garrett, a senior mass communications major at Claflin University. Where am I from? I am from Greenville, South Carolina. What is my purpose? That is a question few really have the answer to. But in this documentary, I will show you my life story, my past, my present, and my future endeavors. And who knows, maybe after this, you'll know who Munchoo is too. Singer, songwriter, journalist, host, minister, friend, lover, brother, and son are just a few words to describe who Munchoo is. Many people think they know Munchoo, but they have no idea. So I was born and raised in Greenville, South Carolina, to my loving mother, Nikki Jenkins, Nikki Jones, and my father, who was a very absent present in my life, Patrick Garrett. They both had me at a young age. My mother was 16 and my father was, I believe, 17 or 18. They were high school students. They lacked responsibility, but I guess by me being born into the earth, it allowed them to grow up really fast and mature really fast. Well, my mother, she grew up really fast because she did what she needed to do. Despite having me, she finished high school, she got her nursing degree, she's a registered nurse. Now she's going on and she's pursuing her master's in nursing so she can be a nurse practitioner. So I applaud her. She didn't let me stop her. Even though it was a very young age, my family members stepped in to help out. I was raised predominantly by female figures. And a lot of people be like, oh, you're so feminine, and oh, are you gay, da, 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 da. All of that had, all that played a major part in my upbringing. Like my upbringing, I was born and raised in the church. I've been in the church ever since the age of a toddler. That's not an age, but ever since a young age, I've been in the church, and music and church was basically my life. I eat, I drunk, I slept. Everything I did revolved around church and music. Like, it wasn't no afterlife. I was church and music.
I still have a praise. All the hell I'm going through, I still have a testimony. All the hell I'm going through, I still have a song. All the hell I'm going.
So growing up, I spent a lot of time in my grandmother's house, my mother's house, because my mother was in school. She lived with her mother still at the time. And I was raised there. We lived with my grandmother until the age of 5. Also, I spent a lot of time with my father's mother, which is another one of my grandmothers who instilled a lot of religion and my faith in me. On the weekends, I used to love going over there. My grandmother, my uncles, like a lot of females raised.
Well, it started about 20-something years ago. I was 16 years old and I had this cutest little baby Indian. Oh my God, he was the cutest thing ever. His name was Demunshay Garrett. He was so sweet. I hardly ever had him as a baby because all my friends wanted him. Fast forward 2 years. Oh my God, a tyrant. He was unbelievable, all over the place, in everything, doing everything, saying everything, but he was still my baby boy.
Munchoo's like a little brother to me. When he first came to Claflin, I took him under my wing when he was a freshman. We started out as a music major, but then we switched our majors to mass communications. Since then, we have just been two peas in a pod. Like, I love that boy with everything in me. I see, where he's going in life, and I see the change that has come over him since he's been at Claflin. And I'm just excited about his future. If I had anything that I would leave with him, it's to never stop being you, Munchoo. You are unique, you're talented, you're gifted, and sometimes things come in your way to block you. But continue to be you. Be determined in everything that you do.
Well, through the years, we grew together. He taught me how to love. He taught me responsibility. He taught me that if I wanted something, I had to get it because nobody else was going to do it for us. We were a team. Although we had grandparents and parents that helped us out, it was still me and him. He has always been into church. He was introduced to church early in his life because his grandmother, on both sides, were Christian ladies, and from the moment he heard music, he was hooked.
My name's Tiara Myrick, and I met Munchoo about almost 2 years ago, and ever since he came into my life, he's been a magnificent person. Just really close with God, just made my relationship close with God. He's also, been a great friend, a great support system. He's the epitome of a great friend. He'll do whatever for you, whenever. There's so many times where he's been so selfless when he could have been selfish, and he helps everyone. I feel like, personally, he goes through so much within himself that, it's hard for him. It's hard to explain. I don't want to cry. So, he's a great friend of mine, and he's an amazing videographer, amazing host, just amazing personality, a gift from God. One of my best friends in the whole world. I could tell him anything, but a synopsis of him is that he's changed my life.
He loves love. Yeah, he always want to hug and kiss and cuddle, and which is something that I have not always been able to accept. I've always been kind of a go-getter, emotions to the side, but he has, and I'm glad he didn't get that. He has a side that he'll just hold on to you until you break.
Munchoo is my little brother. Like, I met him his sophomore year. We clicked ever since. And Munchoo, he's a very special person to me. Like, he is very uplifting. He's very motivated and motivates others to go out and do what they love. And God is using him really to push other people to go for their dreams. And little does he know, he's about to go for his too. And God's about to take him far. And like, Munchoo is just, like, he's very, 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 very anointed. And he doesn't realize that yet.
So he would make promises to me like, oh, I'm coming to pick you up this weekend. So here I am. I'm packing my bags, have my suitcase packed, and I'll be sitting by the door all day from early Saturday morning to late Saturday night. And then Mom would just finally say, he's not coming. Unpack your bags, get ready for church tomorrow. He's not coming. And like, just to know that so many broken promises, that's just one of the promises that's been broken in my life. It's just like, I've never had a relationship with him. Luckily, God brought another man into my life who married my mother when I was at the age of 5, who has been an incredible father figure, inspirational man in my life. His name is Leon Jenkins. That is my daddy. Like, I don't even know my other father. He doesn't even spend time with me. He has never made the initiative to do that. He always sees to put women over his children. That's just him. My first rape happened when I was in middle school. I believe I was in 6th or 7th grade. It was in the gym locker room. And most of you know, like, when you're in the gym locker room, you have to change clothes around your peers. So, because you have to dress out for gym. So I was in there. I came to gym late. I'll never forget. My gym class was at 2 o'clock because we got out of school at 3 o'clock. So my gym class was at 2 o'clock. I came to class around like 2:15, 2:20. I don't remember why I came late, but for some reason I was late to class. And as I came in late, it was about 5 boys still left changing out. And I came in, started unchanging. And then one boy came and grabbed me by the back of my neck and pushed me to the locker. So another one came behind me and, had me, I don't know what it's called, in a chokehold, or, just had his arms around me so that I would not, engage in activity with this person. And while they were doing that, they finished undressing me, basically. I'm not gonna get too graphic because this is senior project, but it was about 5 boys, me, doing sexual acts, and all I could just remember myself doing is crying for help. and resisting. My second encounter with rape happened very recently. I was in college, yes, summer of 2012. Summer was really good. I had an internship at Fox Carolina News. I was learning how to be a reporter. Everything was going good. But 2 weeks before I came back to school, 2 weeks before classes started back at Claflin University, and this was the last week of my internship. So I was just, I was excited, wrapping everything up, editing my footage. This man, came into my life. I don't remember how old he is or how old he was. We engaged in conversation. We got to know each other. We never met each other. So we finally got the guts to get up and meet each other. We went and sat down somewhere. And then from there, I feel like that was the worst thing that could ever happen in my life. I believe my first experience with suicide or attempting to commit suicide was in high school. Because I was at the point in my life where I was very tired of life as it is and the situations that life brings. Because everybody has struggles, everybody has situations, everybody has trials. Don't get me wrong, nobody's situation is better than nobody's. But at the point in my life, I was just weighed down really heavy because I felt like I was neglected. I felt like I was unwanted. I felt like nobody accepted me for who I am because I was always up on guard, and I was always at the place where I would find myself trying to please people. And on my back porch was when I just experienced so many traumatic things, so many degrading thoughts. It was just attack after attack after attack, and all I could hear through my mind is, you're not wanted. Nobody wants you. You're a failure. Just stuff like that. You're gay. You'll never be accepted in society. And so at that point in my life, my father had left his car. He took one car. He left his car. I got inside the car, and I just started thinking and crying, thinking and crying, thinking and crying. And so I was just driving and meditating, and just these thoughts just still in my mind. So I went out into the highway. So we have a 4-lane highway outside of our neighborhood. So I went into the 4-lane highway. I sped out into the 4-lane highway going around 70 miles per hour. And when I did that, I drove. And then after that, I made a U-turn and I went all the way back into our neighborhood going around 70 miles per hour. And then when I turned into my neighborhood, I didn't put on the brakes. When you turn, you're supposed to slow down. I didn't slow down at all because I knew what I was doing. I was purposely trying to kill myself. So I sped into the little, I don't know what it's called. I sped into the neighborhood, and there's these big things of trees. It's like woods, but it's trees, and then it's houses and the road. So I did a quick turn. Someone was like, just kill yourself. You're not wanted. So I did a quick turn, and as I did that quick turn, I drove into the trees, going about 80 miles per hour now. And finally, I swerved and I hit a tree. God has really been bringing positive people into my life from the gospel industry. Yes, the gospel industry, like Leandria Johnson, Kim Burrell, Kiera Sheard, Alexis Spite, Micah Stampley. You pursue God and you live a life that's after Him and you stay in His will. Because it's one thing to know Him, it's one thing to know of Him, and it's one thing to stay in His will. And when you know Him and when you stay in His will, everything just works. Everything works. Well, first, let me just answer your first question. I don't consider myself a part of the LGBT world because the Bible says you're in the world, but you're not of the world. So I feel like that was just a phase that I had to go through to get to the better me or, the stronger me. I had to endure that to bring other people out. And I feel like the church is very judgmental, and they don't understand the aspect or the full concept of why God took me through that. They look at, the sin, or you're sinning, but they don't look at the outlook or the result of the whole, process. I feel like that will be a topic that will never leave my resume. Never leave my spiritual resume or my physical resume. Homosexuality, just because of the way society is, even if I'm fully delivered from it and if I'm married with 5 kids, they'll still find a way to bring that relevant in interviews that I do, reports. Like, it will be always a current topic. Like, oh, you're the one who overcame homosexuality. Like, they will refer to me as the person who overcame homosexuality, and it will always be relevant.